What do you get when you take a Massachusetts comedian,
Drink as much as you can, drink as fast as you can, have some fun.
a Massachusetts politician,
And I approve this message.
add 1 part sports, 1 part politics, and a healthy dose of unsubstantiated opinion? Sweeney Malone. Sponsored by Weymouth Bank and Plymouth Rock Financial Partners. Here's Steve Sweeney and Joe Malone.
Good evening, listeners, and thanks for tuning in. Joe Malone here. Steve Sweeney is out and about, but is nice enough to be calling in. He's taking a little bit of a patriotic tour, I think he called it, which is pretty cool. He's on the line right now. Steve, what's the itinerary look like for your weekend trip here?
Well, let me tell you what happened, Joe. I left Quincy at 2 o'clock, and I am just now getting out of Worcester. The traffic was horrendous.
Oh my God! Wow. Well, that's you've seen some good sights so far, right? The Mass Pike and
yes, I saw the Mass Pike, and the same truck was in front of me, a food truck with a big picture of a cake.
That
hallucinate.
That Framingham exit is beautiful this time of year.
It really is,
Yeah.
Joe.
Well,
I don't understand this. Why don't people stay at home for Thanksgiving? And, you're smart. You stay at home. Let people come to you, right, Joe?
I think that's a great idea. Also, Steve, I know in the past you've used helicopters to get around. Maybe you should revert back to that.
That's right. That's how I roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonight I'm going to Hyde Park, New York. Hyde Park on the Hudson, where Roosevelt vacation, summered, made a lot of big decisions. And then tomorrow, go to Gettysburg.
It might have been wiser to go to Hyde Park, the neighborhood in Boston.
Yes, next to Roslindale, one of the great Hyde Parks.
It would have been a lot easier. And you could have told
easier.
people I went to Hyde Park. So okay, first stop is Hyde Park. What do you do in Hyde Park?
Well, you go to see where...
I mean, is there like
all of my
historic?
plans, Joe, to be honest with you, we got my brother and I have been back and forth all day. There's supposed to be 3 to 5 inches of snow. I'm driving into the snowstorm, so I'm going to go through Gettysburg. I'm going to sleep in Hyde Park. I will have nothing to report. I am so sorry. But I got to. Between the traffic and the snow, I'll just sing patriotic songs.
Beautiful. That's cool.
If the snow clears, people tell me they go to Gettysburg and they get chills. I went to one of these Civil War battlefields last year, and it's remarkable. And you see how close they were when they fought. And anytime you go to Washington, people should go to Washington, and you go on the monuments, and you just feel so patriotic. It's wonderful. Now, tomorrow you're going to begin cooking, Joe?
Actually, once you gave this whole spiel about staying home, the irony is I am actually spending my Thanksgiving, along with my wife and kids, in Brooklyn this year because on my wife's side, there's kind of a family event, family reunion there. So I'll have the great joy of flying from Boston Logan Airport down to Kennedy on Thursday, and then try to find my way over to Brooklyn from there.
Thursday is actually a good travel day. Tomorrow is horrendous.
Yeah, we don't need the traffic report. The Sween man is doing it all for us. And by the way, Steve, we've got the cable television production team here from Raynham, and so when you return next Tuesday, it's going to be a whole new day. You can't walk in anymore with the short shorts or, some of the other casual attire.
No, I will be in a tuxedo.
Nice.
With no pants.
Yeah, or the Tom Jones look, with the shirt unbuttoned down to the navel and the red carnation.
Yes. Now, when I was at CLX, I had 2 stalkers. We've been on the air 4 years, and I consider it, one of our negatives is that I have no stalkers.
Yeah, well, the truth is we didn't want you to panic and press charges and everything else, but the crack WATD security team has been dealing with a number of people who've been trying to get a chance to get close to you.
If they're attractive women, they are more than welcome.
Well, because...
My problem at ZLX, my stalkers were very unattractive. If they were attractive, I would have gone for
Well, because of the assassination attempt that took place up in Saugus, there's the ATD team is very, very concerned. So
now listen, what are you going to have on the show tonight?
So we've got you for the next 15 minutes, and then we've got Phil from New York, who's got some explaining to do because the Giants are terrible, the Jets are terrible. In fact, this might be the most enjoyable time to have Phil from New York on. He just returned from a trip in Italy, so I think he's going to probably want to talk about that rather than the fact that the Buffalo Bills beat the Jets last night, 37-3 or something. But then we got let's see, Mike Lynch, Channel 5 sports broadcaster, Emmy-winning award, and then we have Lauren Payne, who is the director of the Friendship Home. And then in the last segment, we'll leave that open as a surprise segment. So,
yeah, you should take calls and ask people what they're thankful for.
And also, but what particularly they're thankful for regarding Steve Sweeney.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will be effusive in their praise and in their compliments.
Effusive, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you have a great holiday. Did you want me to through the traffic, Joe?
Oh, wait a minute. Here's the traffic now. WATD. Stick around. Steve Sweeney and Joe Malone will be back on Sweeney and Malone here at WATD 95.9.
Sweeney and Malone on 95.9 WATD.
Welcome back to Sweeney and Malone. Joe Malone here. Steve Sweeney on the line, calling from out in Route 90, Mass Pike. Steve, sorry for your troubles, but you know what? This is a good way to kill the time while you fight your way through traffic. Steve? Uh-oh. We may have lost him, but that's all right. He'll call back, I presume. Right? Yeah. Or maybe you call him. Who knows?
I could try to call him. I think he might have hung up during traffic, but
let's hope he's driving carefully and safely. But anyway, while we're waiting for Steve, this is a big breakthrough for Sweeney and Malone. We're now going to be on cable TV in a number of different places. Steve, that's great news, right? Because, the old joke, you have a face for radio. Not so with Sweeney and Malone. I mean, this TV is really our medium.
Joe, am I still on?
Oh, yeah. You're still on, Steve. We wouldn't let you go that easily, you know?
Well, I've got, I go in and out of these cell areas, and this is it's absolutely incredible, the amount of traffic.
Wow. Jeez.
I can't tell you how crowded it is.
Well, if you left...
You were mentioning television.
Yeah. So we're now going to be on a number of cable TV systems, which will be a lot of fun.
I don't know about that, Joe.
Uh-oh. You're a little skitsy about it, huh?
Well, they're going to see the real Joe Malone.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. And I have my concerns also, Steve, but, we'll weather the storm. We'll adapt, as we always have.
It will be a reality show.
By the way, Steve, 4 years. Our anniversary's coming up in 2 weeks. Imagine that. We've been on the air 4 years.
I'm going to be, and you know what? I'm going to be in the studio in 2 weeks.
You're going to be in the studio in 2 weeks?
I am. I'm going to be live.
Oh, good. I would think so, right?
And I want to say, I discovered this place at Marshfield many years ago, and it's still there. And I'm not getting paid to plug this, and they're not one of our sponsors, but that turkey place on 139, that
Gerard's, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I know, it is unbelievable, huh? With all the fixins. Yeah, what brought that up, Steve? Did you eat there recently?
No, it's just a great little spot. It's a nice place to go on things.
I know a woman in Scituate who had her family over. I don't think it was for Thanksgiving, but it was a special occasion. She bought the turkey and all of the fixings at Gerard's and hid all of the packaging. So when the relatives came over, they all just assumed she cooked this amazing meal, and she never fessed up. But hey, good for her, right?
Well, the Sweeney family, we usually get turkey subs.
Yeah. From Maria's. Maria's in Scituate has a nice turkey. What do you go with, mayo? Mayo and lettuce?
It's mayo and lettuce. And we've all moved up the economic ladder, so we get larger.
Yeah. Beautiful. And do you have an appetizer, some sort of a first course or anything? Or you go with the Campbell's soup?
Potato chips, Coke, and a turkey stuff.
Nice. Oh, they go together very nicely.
Yes, and then you watch football.
Yeah.
Which I love doing.
Get out the Twinkies.
And I've got to get my tickets for Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, you're that confident. Of course, Phoenix is where the Super Bowl will be held this January. You're happy with Katy Perry will do the halftime show. You're happy with that? Ryan's happy with it. He's giving it the thumbs up. It's a generational thing.
I'm giving it a strong thumbs down.
Yeah.
Katy Perry, I don't know. I've seen her 2 or 3 times. She's not. Compare her to like the Stones or U2. You need a big name.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't know who a big name is anymore.
Well, it's funny though. I was listening to the other Perry from Aerosmith. He was doing a radio interview the other day, and he's just released a book. I think maybe it was a repeat of the radio.
You're thinking of Joe Perry. You're thinking of Ed Perry.
Joe Perry. No. By the way, Ed Perry, the founder and our fearless leader here at WATD, won like National Broadcaster of the Year recently. So congratulations to him. Ryan, do you know anything about that? Ed won a big award, didn't he?
He did. He won from the Mass Broadcasters Association. He won Broadcaster of the Year this year.
That?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a very big accomplishment for him. So.
And in his acceptance speech, you know what he said, Steve?
What?
I did this despite Sweeney and Malone. As much as they tore down the station and brought us shame, I was still able to win this award. So that's quite an accomplishment.
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you a true story, and I can say this now that I'm out of the station and on the road. I was in the parking lot, and Ed was dozing in his car, and I woke him up, and he started screaming, "That frickin' Malone, I'll kill him!" And I said, "Ed, what's up?" He said, "I haven't had to sleep in a month. I want to kill that Joe Malone."
Why did you want to kill me, Steve?
You know what? I don't get into that.
Yeah, he said my half of Sweeney and Malone is knocking the cover off the ball. Your half is killing the ratings. So it turns out it's kind of no harm, no foul. We
Now, are you going to talk any politics tonight, Joe?
We may talk a little bit at the end of the night, but you know what? I think with everything that's going on in Ferguson, with everything that's going on with the Secretary of Defense being fired or resigned, whichever story you hear, you know what I mean? Let's talk some happy talk here. I want to talk about the Sween man and what he's grateful for, what he is thankful for. Give it to me.
Number one, I'm very, very grateful to be alive.
To be alive, yeah. Most people from Charlestown, from your generation, didn't make it past what, 28?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
28, 24 to 27.
So, and if they did make it by 24, they were in prison.
Right.
So you're playing with the house money, my friend.
Yeah. Now, house money, exactly. I'm very grateful to be, what's that stuff? It's got to be free. That food thing, something free. Gluten.
Oh, gluten-free. You're grateful because you're gluten-free.
I can eat as much gluten as I want. Very grateful for that. I love gluten.
You love gluten. All right, so you're not gluten-free. You're gluten challenged. You're addicted to gluten.
I'm very grateful for Ryan.
Ryan, wow, very.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you.
I'm very grateful to be in a country where we take everything for granted, but one of the things that we have is plenty of food.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
A lot of people in the world that don't eat. I have a full set of teeth. They're all real. I don't have false teeth.
Nice. Yeah. And by the way, Larry Legend is looking a little bit, I'd say, unhappy. You left him out on your list of what you're grateful for.
Extremely grateful for Larry Legend. Without Larry Legend, we wouldn't have had a show. Larry Legend sets up our remote.
Are you grateful because you're in a movie that's at the top of the charts?
Oh, I love all that, but I also am very grateful for. I love soda water with limes.
It's very healthy for you too.
Right.
And one last thing you're grateful for. You live in Quincy, right? And I mean, right outside your door. I mean, you got the world on a string, right? What can you do in Quincy?
Quincy's fine, but I was looking at that house in home, and you had met the real estate person.
Well,
boyfriend, and you said the girl have a nice laugh, and he said, "Yeah, she's got a great laugh." Is that what?
It was a little. He mistook the word "laugh" for another word. I said, your girlfriend has a great laugh," and he said, "Yeah, she does have a great fill in the blank." And I said, "No. Hey, Steve Sweeney, drive carefully. Make sure you're patient. Don't worry about getting where you need to get to instantly."
No, we have a wonderful time, and thank you so much. And I'm very thankful that people listen to our show.
Amen, brother. Amen. And you're thankful for my singing, I assume, right? That goes without saying?
That's an assumption you should not make.
Oh, boy. Hey, enjoy that turkey submarine on Thursday, all right? And we'll see you next Tuesday, Stevie.
You got it, buddy. Have a great week.
That's Steve Sweeney. He took it upon himself to do the traffic report live from the road. So we're here at WATD 95.9. We'll be right back.
Sweeney and Malone on 95.9 WATD.
The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me all summer long.
Welcome back to Sweeney and Malone. And the great thing about the nights when Steve has a gig or for some other reason isn't here, I get to hear my music. Of course, Frank Sinatra, the chairman of the board, bringing it as he always does. And Ryan, we got Phil from New York who's going to be calling in any minute. So, but in the meantime, Ryan, I'll open up the mic for a second. I got to ask you, what do you do for your Thanksgiving?
Well, this year I will be working.
Wow.
I'll be at. We're broadcasting a high school football game, Marshfield versus Duxbury. So I'll be at the game setting that up.
Wow.
And then I'll be back here filling in for Kathy D from 2 to 6.
Holy mackerel!
So I've got a WATD fun-filled Thanksgiving day. Yeah.
And barely.
I'm very thankful for it.
Barely 16, Ryan. And
yeah.
Getting all this done.
Yeah, I'm almost in high school.
So the local games, Cohasset plays Littleton at 9 a.m. So you got to be out there for that.
Those are the Super Bowl games actually the following week. Yeah, that's going to be December 6th.
Oh, okay. So what are you doing this week?
On Thanksgiving, I'm going to be at Duxbury.
That's right. Wow.
On Thanksgiving, all the rivals play each other.
Yeah,
so
Hingham
Duxbury,
and Scituate.
that's right.
Yeah. So
Duxbury and Marshfield. We're going to be broadcasting Duxbury and Marshfield.
Wow. And then the following week, you got to be out at Gillette.
Yeah, we're going to be down there at Gillette. We have 3 games that we're going to be broadcasting. It looks like 3 of the South Shore teams: Cohasset, Abington, and what's the other one on there? Marshfield. Marshfield made it to the Super Bowl. So we're going to have 3 games broadcast on December 6th from Gillette. It's going to be fun.
Again, that's why WATD wins all these awards.
That's right. Yeah, great local coverage, and we're taking everything out on the road to Gillette so you can hear the games here live, play-by-play. Bill Wilhelm and the whole sports team. Larry's going to be down there. I'm going to be down there. Bill Wilhelm, Arthur Bill.
The legendary Bill Wilhelm.
That's right.
Yeah. Before there was Larry Legend, there was Bill Legend.
That's right.
So now Larry is continuing. You don't get that status without being special. So
all the legends here at WATD.
And so you come back to the studio. You work. At some point, do you get to partake in all the fixings of a great turkey dinner?
My family's gonna bring me home some leftovers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have some. I'll have some. Leftover. Leftovers are always good.
All right.
Thanksgiving dinner the next day.
I'm worried for you. I'm
no.
making sure.
I love my stuffing. If I don't have my stuffing on Thanksgiving, I will not be thankful.
You forget about things like that. All the people and all the operations that have to remain open, hospitals, and the other dedicated people who work on the holidays. They really deserve kudos.
What are you doing on Thanksgiving, Joe?
So I'm going to Brooklyn. Believe it or not, my son Charlie plays for Situate High. So he plays. I watch the game on Thursday morning, and then we head to Logan to fly down to Brooklyn and have a family dinner down there. So, but who we got calling in here now, Phil? Oh, okay. So I'm told that Thursday won't be a bad travel day, but we shall see, because Wednesday is when the storm is hitting. So it couldn't be a worse nightmare from a commuting standpoint to have all these people who are trying to get from point A to point B. And what do we got, Ryan?
Brian Stratton's calling us.
Brian.
Joe Malone.
How are you? We have a 640 guest calling in, so we may have to bump you off, but what's going on?
That's all right. I'll fill the time till 6:40.
All right, beautiful.
How you doing, my friend?
Loving life, counting my blessings, feeling grateful,
Man, I didn't know you could carry the fort like you did solo. That's amazing.
Well, I'm worried about Sweeney. He's stuck out there on the Mass Pike and trying to get to Hyde Park, New York.
Well, let me ask you this. Is this going to be like a Wally Pipp situation where, Lou Gehrig comes in and he goes solo for the rest,
Well, I don't want... thank you very much, but you know what? Without the Sween Man here, it's like the pancakes without the syrup,
Hey, I wanted to call because I saw Sam Malone on TV the other night.
Yeah.
Now, he went in there and got in there and got a good free throw. I wanted to see if you saw that.
I did, yeah.
I was so proud of him.
Oh, thank you very much.
What a great boy he is and a great ball player. And I was so eagerly watching that ESPN game. Who did Kentucky play the other night?
So the other night they played, let me think about that, Montana State.
Montana State.
Yeah.
And they had the game in hand for the most part, most of the game.
Yeah.
Montana struggled, most of the game. And toward the end, your son came in, and it looked great. Had the headband on.
Thank you very much.
Showed his athleticism. I played against him before, and the kids will whiz up and down the court.
Brian, I'll tell you, I tell him this all the time, but he knows it. He is living the dream, and it's his senior year now at Kentucky. He won. He was part of a national championship team. Won a ring his freshman year. Sophomore year they had an off year. Last year they went to the finals of the NCAA, and that was when he let us know on the Thursday before the Final Four began that he had been honored with the Academic Achievement Award, which meant he had the highest GPA of any of the players playing in the Final Four. So,
well, that's maybe the most important.
Yeah, no, it's all cool. It's all cool, and he's over the years now. He's got about 17, 18 friends who are in the NBA. Guys like Anthony Davis and
the Celtics too.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. James Young. Yeah. And, I don't know. I thought he would go into coaching, but I think he's starting to think now that he'd like to stay in basketball, but probably not on the coaching end of things, But hey, again, he's got plenty to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. And we got to get you back on next week, Brian. Come on and join us.
Joe, always great to listen to you, my
Likewise.
friend.
And tell our listeners when they can tune into your show.
Oh, every Wednesday at 9:30 and Sundays from 1 to 3, Friends with Benefits.
That's 9:30 p.m.
9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. during the day.
All right.
Sundays.
Beautiful. Hey,
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for calling in, Brian. Have a great turkey. Oh, I hear the theme.
Are longing to stray
More Sinatra.
right through the very heart of it. New York, New York.
I want to wake up in that city that
Never sleep.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil from New York, the inimitable one. Phil, welcome to the show. And when I count my blessings this Thursday, when I think about what I'm grateful for, I'm going to think, thank goodness I'm not from New York and I'm not a football fan from New York. Because the Jets...
didn't I predict this was the year for the Pats?
We're going to go back to the... Pick? You know, Ryan's got the tapes, and I think it was just the opposite. I think you would... when they lost to the Chiefs, you were throwing dirt on their grave.
I don't know what I was thinking. What a turnaround.
Man, in fact, wow, huh? So, you know, look, we're fair-minded people here. And you're within the geographical range where if you want to jump on the Patriots bandwagon, you're welcome to do so.
I mean, what a display. They're like a juggernaut.
And these are not, weak teams that they're blowing out. I mean, they're beating all the division leaders, Denver, Indianapolis, the Lions.
Yeah.
Now next week.
We got a big one coming up. This is it Thursday? The Green Bay... the Pats, huh?
Yeah, that's right. It's
Could
Sunday.
Be a preview.
It would be Sunday, though. Yeah.
Sunday. Could be a preview of the big game in February.
Oh, this is a classic. This is that's right. This could be what we'll end up seeing in Arizona next January.
Not only that, maybe deciding the MVP of the league, right? Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, probably the top two candidates for MVP.
Jeez, I'll tell you what, though. Don't count out Gronk, huh? If he stays healthy, you've always worried about him being brittle, but thank God.
I worry about that guy's ankle.
Well, so far he's having an amazing season.
What a catch he had, huh?
But probably the second most terrific catch I've seen in a while. The first one being Begley, huh? For the Giants?
Odell Beckham. Was that a crazy catch?
That was like, are you kidding me? You know, geez, am I seeing things? That defied gravity.
He's probably using the same stickum that guy used in the Super Bowl a few years back.
Yeah, on his helmet. The New York teams must spray stickum all over their body because, that might have been, it wasn't it was better than the catch at the tight end made a couple of years ago.
Very suspicious, though, right?
Yeah, no, there's something going on. There's some rule being broken.
Is Sweeney off today?
Yeah, Sweeney is on a tribute to America. He's going to Hyde Park, New York, and then he's going to, from there, head down to Gettysburg, Virginia, and he's paying homage to American history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Well, with a lot of help from my friends, and tonight is the first night that we have a cable system in here taping the show. So now Phil from New York is going to become even more famous.
Oh, that's fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah, you'll be going into living rooms throughout America, or at least throughout Massachusetts. And after you, we got, you probably don't know him because you're a New York guy, but Mike Lynch, who's a great broadcaster. He does the sports up here.
I think I know. Mike Lynch, the former kicker on a Harvard football team some years back.
Phil, you never cease to amaze me with your knowledge that goes beyond New York. Yeah, that's right.
New England, a lot going on. I mean, you got the signings. The Red Sox got the big signings. They're looking good for next year.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the Harvard Crimson with an undefeated season.
Wow, and in a spectacular Harvard-Yale game.
I watched that myself. What a get with. Now, did you see that Yale running back?
Yeah, number 30.
That guy was Varga.
He can play for my team.
Right, he was hard to take down.
I know it.
Pretty amazing.
They said he would be the first pick in the Canadian Football League because he's from Canada, but then he's playing so well that he may go to the NFL.
I tell you, my Jets could use him. They need something, man. What a bad year in New York.
God.
Huh?
Jeez, they should change their uniforms, change their name, fire their coach, and try to create a whole new brand.
They got to start from scratch.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'm telling you, I've always said this to you and Sweeney. Love the run. You got Belichick, Brady. I mean, it'll go on for a while longer, but it's not forever because it's an incredible run you guys had up there.
Well, you know what? So far, it's going great. I think Brady's got at least 2 more very good years in him, maybe 3. But then we're grooming this next quarterback to come along. You know, so
who's this?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're high on him. They like him. But think about this for a second. Houston's starting quarterback now, right? Is a former Brady backup. He's having a respectable year. What is it?
They had Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he's out now.
No,
right?
it's a Hallett or not Hallett.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Is he a Brady backup?
Yeah, he was Brady's backup just last year. And then the other was the Cleveland starting quarterback. He's a Brady backup too.
Now remember they had that year that Brady was out. They had Castle or Matt Castle.
Right, Matt Castle. Yeah, and then he signed.
He just sort of disappeared.
I know it. Well, it just kind of shows you, though. You know, the genius of Belichick. He knew how to integrate them. And the other thing that shows you the genius of Belichick is all of these assistants. You know, the offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. They leave. They go to teams like the Chiefs or Denver or Notre Dame. But they just don't get it done. You know, the Belichick, I guess, genius is the one that carries all these assistants.
It's amazing. It is amazing.
The Houston head coach O'Brien, he's a protege of Belichick.
Wow.
So
very dominating. Huh?
Yeah. So, and of course, Mangini was a Belichick protege. He didn't go anywhere either.
Didn't do nothing. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Jeez, I can't think of any. Is there one that is really? Establish himself?
Not really. I can't think of anybody else.
Yeah.
No.
So
maybe he was the guy that created Bill Parcells' great career, right?
Well, Parcells never won a championship without Belichick on his staff.
But they will say, I mean, Belichick's record without Brady is not great either, correct?
Yeah, well,
Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he in Cleveland for a couple of years?
Yeah, it's an excellent point, Phil. And I don't want to go there, but Sweeney at ATD. A lot of people say, if it was just the Sweeney show, forget about it. So these combinations work. You got, Simon and Garfunkel, the Everly Brothers. So.
Well, there's usually one guy amongst that duet that really carries the entire baggage.
Yeah, well, the baggage. That's a negative thing. So
you're carrying Sweeney's baggage, man.
I don't know what the best way of describing it is. But, hey, let me shift gears a little bit. Do you go to the Macy's parade, Phil, in New York?
I usually do go, absolutely.
And they got the big inflated things, right?
They got the big
helium
inflated, cartoon characters.
Made famous in the Broadway Danny Rose movie.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember that scene?
Favorites.
Yeah, where the guy was shooting, trying to kill Broadway Danny, and all the helium was coming out of the inflated floats, and the bad guy was in the helium voice was yelling, "I'll get you, you no good," and the other guy was saying, "No, don't shoot." That was
very
a funny
underrated
scene.
movie, right?
Broadway Danny Rose, a Woody Allen classic, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing. Look, if it's a nice day, not too windy. It's a great event down here in New York.
I'll bet. And Thursday is supposed to be the day after the storm. It's too bad today wasn't the parade.
I know.
Right?
I know they're canceling. They have a big parade out in St. Louis. I heard they're canceling that one. What a nightmare that is going on out there.
Oh my God, jeez. And sadly,
what happened to where was the police or the National Guard presence?
Well, first of all, the question that everybody's still waiting to have answered is, why do you make the announcement of the grand jury's findings at night, right?
9 o'clock at night. I agree. That's a little bizarre.
Yeah, why not do it, early in the day when everybody is still at work, and if there is a reaction, the people.
I would do it like at 4 in the morning.
That'd be a good idea. Good idea. And then people wake up, or at least at 6 even, And people wake up, have a cup of coffee. Your instinct isn't to go out and burn down buildings, but.
Oh man, what a nightmare! Watching that last night, it was just so distressing to see people just destroying property like that.
And again, I may be in the minority here, but not all in the media, but many in my opinion, we're treating it like the dropping of the ball on New Year's Eve. You know, oh, we're going to find out pretty soon. Will there be rioting? You know, and we have our cameras there. I mean, geez, you know.
I know. You know, it's a good point, and it didn't dawn on me until you said that. Yeah, the media was playing this like it was a New Year's Eve event. It's very bizarre.
You know, and again, they found out from the previous situation down in Florida with the stand your ground law. I forget the young man's name who was killed, but they said that was a
Trayvon Martin.
Right, thank you. They said that was a ratings bonanza for the cable TV and, you know, the 24-hour coverage, and so, you know, this was the next ratings bonanza, and that sounds harsh to say about executives in the TV industry, but it is all about the ratings.
Very sad commentary on our society.
So let me switch gears yet again.
Yes.
You must be glad you don't live in Buffalo, huh?
Oh, my God. When I think, you know, it's cold here or something in New York or it's dark, I can only think of my poor friends upstate. What they get? 8 feet of snow in 2 days.
8 feet of snow. What the, you know? And you got to say to yourself, at what point does someone living in Buffalo say, you know, I think I'm going to move someplace? I mean, it must have a certain magic to it to some people.
It must. It reminds me. I spent some time up in Boston in my youth, and there was a blizzard of 78.
Oh, sure,
I don't know if you remember the blizzard of 78.
Phil, you were up here during that time?
Yeah, I was doing some, you know, I'm in the interior construction business.
Yeah.
So I was doing a little
home improvement
up there. Yeah, home improvement. I was doing a job up there, and that snow, again, I think it was like 3 or 4 feet of snow in a 24-hour period.
Holy smoke.
The blizzard of 78.
So you must have been just a youngster back then.
Oh, yeah, I was in my ute.
So did you head out to some of the local drinking establishments? Or how did
I used to? I don't know if it's still there, but a place in Cambridge called Jack's.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's what's ironic about that. I bartended at Jack's. All right, small world, and Mike.
Our paths may have crossed.
Mike Lynn, you know what did you drink back in those days? A cold beer, probably. Huh?
I don't know. I used to have my vodka and grapefruit juice.
Nice. Vodka and grapefruit. What do they call that? A salty dog.
Yeah. Occasional. Always an occasional shot of tequila as the night wore on.
Holy smoke! Wow. Well, certainly.
But that was a fun place. There was a lot of live music.
Live music 7 days a week. In fact, Mike Lynch, who's coming on next, he bartended there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Bonnie Raitt
used
there.
to. Yeah, she got her start there, and occasionally would come in and get up on stage and sing with some of the bands there. And I can remember there was a night when the Leonard Skinner band, they didn't play, but they came in just to watch the live music.
Is that right? Yeah, that was a great spot.
Yeah.
And you guys have had your share of tough storms up in Boston, right, over the years?
Yeah, but, you know, especially on the South Shore here, because you get the nor'easters, you know, which is not only the storms, but it's the flooding. And
but Buffalo, forget it, man.
Oh, jeez.
That takes the cake.
Absolutely.
I mean, they had... And then, you know, it warmed up. I don't know, the water,
Oh, now they're worried about flooding. Jeez.
It's like the 10 plagues are being visited upon them.
Very sadly, I know. And then the Bills had to go and play their game in Detroit.
Oh, man, what a night.
Yeah. And again, that brings us full circle back to the Jets, who took a thumping, but we won't go there. Hey, in the last minute we have here, okay? What are you feeling grateful for? I know you just came back from a trip to Italy.
Yes, I did, and I'm feeling grateful for my good health and for the health of my friends and my family. That's the first and foremost, because life is unpredictable. We've got to be happy for being healthy and for having loving friends and a loving family.
And what is your message to the listeners of this great station?
My message is, don't take anything for granted. Turn to your loved ones, appreciate who they are, and enjoy them for the time that we have left on this earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pure eloquence of Phil from New York. And Phil, let me say to you, we thank you You're well compensated, clearly, for your visits in the show, but you're worth every penny.
Now, listen, I want to get my TV spot at some point too.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to come up here in person.
Okay.
And Margot, who produces the show now, the TV segment of it, would love to have you be part of it. She already told me that the polling, the surveys that they've done of Sweeney and Malone listeners, one of the most popular segments is the Phil from New York segment, because it broadens our footprint. It brings New York into the fold.
You know, the ring of Malone and Phil is also pretty good too.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, Sweeney, somebody earlier said, what was the guy's name who missed the game and then Lou Gehrig took over?
Oh, yeah, Wally Pipp.
Yeah, Wally Pipp. That this could be a Wally Pipp moment for Sweeney. And, we just have to figure out a way to get you up from New York all the time. That might not be easy.
Okay, we'll keep working on that, my friend.
Yeah. And, again, to you and yours, may you have lots of turkey and desserts and all the fixings, and enjoy the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
New York will rise again. We're down, but we will rise again.
So the Knicks, the Jets,
it's a
man, and now the Sox have had two major signings.
I know.
Word is the Yankees are going to be opening up that vault big time. So they better.
Okay, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving to all the listeners out there.
Thank you very much. And as they say over in the old country of Italy, buona fortuna. Good fortune, my friend. Okay. That's Phil from New York, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Sweeney and Malone. Sweeney is fighting his way through traffic, and we got a big show ahead. Mike Lynch coming up from Channel 5 to talk about football and all sorts of other things. Stick around. WATD 95.9.
Joe Malone is part of a bold new generation of leadership who will fight for policies that will rekindle our national spirit and recapture the American dream. Joe Malone is the future of America, and I support him.
Thank you, Michael Bublé. Nice of him to come into the studio tonight and play a little bit for Sweeney and Malone. We're joined now by the Emmy award-winning journalist, broadcaster, Channel 5, Mike Lynch. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hello, Joe. How are you? You got Stevie with you?
No, Stevie is he's stuck in traffic out near Worcester. He had this idea that he wanted to first go to Hyde Park, New York, and then he was going to drive down to Gettysburg, Virginia. And he said, what time of year can I go when the traffic will be the worst? So he's amazed that it took him 3.5 hours to get from Quincy to Worcester. So it's not good.
Yeah, that's good, solid thinking.
Exactly. But he's here in spirit.
Yeah.
And he's him. He lives and dies Patriots. So he's jacked up.
Well, he must be living pretty good right now.
Oh, he sure is. And he was down after that Chiefs game. He was depressed.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, but boy, what a turnaround, huh?
And no surprise, if you look back over the years, it's pretty much Bill Belichick's agenda, and things fall into form. When I used to do the show with him.
Yeah, sure.
He'd always say, I don't know what kind of team I have until after the 6th week. So even if he started off 3-0, he would never get excited. If he went 0-2 or 2-2, he never got down. He waited until after that 6th week, and then he kind of knew what kind of club he had. So he's got a pretty good club right now. They're the best team in football.
Oh, my God. And it's a constant reinvention of the team, I mean, the wide receiver there, LaFell, who they got him off the trash bin, so to speak. And you got Edelman, who was a quarterback in college and never played the position before. Now he's the premier slot back in the NFL. And you got the kid Gray before he overslept. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's
how about amazing. How about running for 201 yards, 4 touchdowns, cover of Sports Illustrated, and you don't get off the bench?
Oh,
and you win 34-9.
Right. And meanwhile, though, the coaching mentality. Belichick loves the idea. He's saying to every single player on that team, look, nobody is in a position where you can bend the rules or break the rules or lose focus. So it was a great teaching moment for the entire team.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he's done it to a number of players. He even did it this year to Darrelle Revis.
Yeah, that's right.
But he did play that Sunday, though.
Boy, Revis is panned out great, huh?
I think that's, I was talking with Chris Gasper of the Globe the other day, and I said the difference makers are Revis and Brandon Browner in that secondary.
Wow. Yeah.
They just put the clamps on people, and they shadow people, and they just make it tough.
And with Browner's size, he gives them kind of a unique matchup with some of these, either the big wideouts or,
Yeah, because the guys like Calvin Johnson, I mean, he's a big, tall guy. That's how Randy Moss, other than being fast and having great hands, but he would go against these 5'9", 5'8" cornerbacks and just pluck it off the top of their helmets.
Wow. And Brady keeps on keeping on.
He's the best. He's solid as a rock. I mean, I can't believe people were screaming for Jimmy Garoppolo after the Kansas City game. I said, what?
That's
what?
And by the way, when you say people, not just your average Joe fan. These were guys who get paid a salary for covering football, and they're supposed to know something, right?
Yeah, guys on ESPN.
I know it.
Trent Dilfer. The days it's over.
Wow.
The downside, and I remember when they beat Carolina in Houston in the Super Bowl. I remember we were after the game, we were standing in the end zone, and early that season, maybe up to week 2 or 3, Tom Jackson of ESPN came on and said Bill Belichick has lost control of that locker room.
Yeah.
So we come out, they win the Super Bowl on another Vinatieri kick. Belichick comes out, and he comes over to us, and he does his interview, which was very nice of him to do. He did one with Channel 7 right next to us. And then the producer from ESPN came over and said, can you come on ESPN? He says, well, who's doing the interviews? He said, the person said Tom Jackson.
Oh.
He gave him a couple of words and turned around and just went the other way.
Wow. Well, you think ESPN would have been sharp enough to say, we don't want to send Tom to do this interview, right? Wow. Well, again, you give credit to Belichick because he's got enough confidence in himself that he, he is who he is, and he's that way with his players, as you pointed out with Gray and with some of the other. How about them getting back the running back from Pittsburgh, too, and paying him the minimum? Huh? That looks like a pretty good deal right now.
Well, but Glenn had no choice because on the previous Monday night, the Steelers were running away. I forget who they were playing, but they had another running back who rushed for 200 yards.
Yeah,
Bell. Yeah. And so Blunt was so ticked off, he left the game early, went in the locker room and just got dressed and took off before the game ended. So they get rid of him the next day. And he had a 2-year, like $3.75 million deal with Pittsburgh. Wow. So they get rid of him. Then he was desperate, looking for work. So they sign him. They give him the minimum this year, and then if he makes it next year, if they need him next year, then they'll pay him.
Amazing. So right now they're the AFC front runner to get to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people fear Denver right now. The Patriots handle them with ease.
Yeah.
And Denver's got some injuries, and Denver, they look mortal this year.
Yeah. And a big one this Sunday, with the Packers.
That's going to be the game of the year.
At Lambeau Field. If Sweeney was here, he'd go right into his Cosell imitation.
One of the great places. There are most of the stadiums in the league, they kind of look the same now, and they don't have any real history or character to them like some college stadiums do. But you walk into Lambeau Field, and the first time I was there, we were doing a preseason game, and Bill Parcells was the coach. And I rode the bus over with the team, and I just walked up the runway, and it's just like going to Fenway for the first time with your dad. And you look out in the field, and you're going, wow. And I hear this voice about 3 rows behind me, kind of gives you goosebumps, doesn't it? And Parcells was already there, just sitting by himself, just taking on.
In an empty stadium.
Empty stadium. 4:00 in the afternoon for a 7:30 game, and he's saying, he says, all the places I've ever been, he says, nothing has me in awe like this place here.
Well, so, Mike, think of all these stories, the memories. I saw Al Michaels has got a book out now, huh? So, Mike, you're going to be next.
When I write a book, it'll be the last day I work in this business.
Yeah, well, it's okay, you know. That'll mean you're even more liberated to write it. You know? And you can start with your bartending career at Jack's in Cambridge, you know.
Absolutely. Made a mean White Russian.
Oh, the kamikazes were to die for. So Harvard, another Ivy League championship.
Boy, I tell you, he is one heck of a coach.
Oh my God, he could coach anywhere, huh?
He can. You know, it's funny. We probably have two of the best coaches in their sport in the country right now. Jerry York at BC and Tim Murphy at Harvard.
Of course, York, the hockey coach, and Murphy. Murphy's a South Shore guy, right?
Yeah, he grew up in
Pembroke.
Pembroke, went to Silver Lake.
Yeah. And I think he and the Dartmouth coach.
Yeah, Buddy Stevens. They were high school teammates together.
All right. But Mike, I would say second only to a game back in the 70s, which was won on a field goal. The kicker's name escapes me right now. In front of how many people were in Yale Bowl that day?
68,000.
68,000. Take us through it then. Okay, the Ivy League championship. I just want to know what you're thinking and your level of nervousness, because had people figured out visualization at that point yet? I mean, are you thinking, okay, don't screw this up, Mike? I'm serious.
You know, it's funny. My roommate, Barry Cronin.
And by the way, just to our listeners, Mike kicked the winning field goal. What year was that?
75.
75. Harvard beats Yale in front of 68,000 people in a cold, windy day at Yale Bowl. Harvard wins the Ivy League championship. But go ahead, tell us the Barry Cronin story.
Well, it was the 100th year of Harvard-Yale. They started in 1875, so that was kind of big. And then the winner of the game would win the Ivy League championship. And Harvard had never won it outright. We had tied for it a number of times. And remember the night before the game, Joe Resnick, our coach, would show a film of the upcoming opponent, and would always give us milk and cookies afterwards.
Yeah.
So he showed us the film of the Yale-Dartmouth game, which Yale won on the last play of the game with a field goal. And then he shut the projector off and turned the lights on. He said, "Let's hope it doesn't come down to that tomorrow." Not meaning he didn't want me to be there.
Yeah.
He just didn't want it to be that close.
Let's just win decisively.
Yeah. And I'm sitting at the back of the room. I'm saying, like hell, let's hope it does.
Yeah. That's right. Give me that opportunity.
Exactly. But it's like anybody else. You dream about getting up with the bases loaded. You dream about being at the free throw line with a 1-and-1. And all week long I kept dreaming about it.
Yeah.
And I kept telling Barry Cronin, my roommate, he says, if you miss that kick, he says, you're sleeping in the hall for the next month.
Oh, geez. It would have been worse than a month. The kicker from Buffalo, right?
I know.
He's still paying the price.
Scott Norwood, wide right.
So then in the middle of all this stuff, Patriots and Harvard and so forth, BC almost pulls off the upset of the year in college football.
What a day it was. It started out, ESPN's Game Day was at Harvard, which is really a popular show. It's really a lot of fun.
And it's kind of a it's a statement. When they do a game day, it's usually reserved for the Alabama-Auburn game or USC-UCLA. That was cool.
They were at Alabama the previous Saturday.
Wow.
And then they make the decision on Sunday where they're going the following. They said, we're coming to Cambridge for Harvard-Yale.
Oh.
So that kind of means, you're on the map.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, everyone's going to pay attention. NBC Sports Network broadcast the game. And what a thriller it was. It was 24-7 Harvard in the fourth quarter. Yale ties it with 3 minutes to go. Harvard drives down. They throw a 35-yard bomb with 50 seconds to go up by 7. Yale moves all the way down to the 10-yard line, and Harvard picks them off with 10 seconds to go, and they storm the field, Joe, like you did back in 75.
Oh, remember they carried me off the field, Mike? I jest, listeners. I don't want to be accused of fabricating or in some way being delusional. But, no, those were fun days, though. Fun days. So, Mike, do you make the turkey, or is it Mary Ellen?
Mary Ellen makes the turkey.
Yeah.
I am the turkey. Most of the time, like we all are.
Yeah, you get carved up.
Yep. But I don't actually get to stay home and eat. I go to a game and then I come in here, and I'm here from most of the afternoon until we sign off at about midnight.
And nobody does schoolboy coverage better than you at Channel 5. It's outstanding.
Thank you. I appreciate
it's great.
It's become a fun thing. We have a half-hour show, 7:30 to 8, and then we repeat it 11:30 to midnight. And as we speak downstairs, they're building this little set, and we get people from all that bring in artifacts from high school teams. Now, we have the show called On the Record, which we taped this morning. It's a political show.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
So the mayor of Lawrence came in today, and he brought a Lawrence football helmet and a Lawrence football jersey to hang on the set. And we've had, people. We've got helmets from. Saugus. We've got Bill Ricca. We've got Norwood. We've got Walpole. We've got jerseys. We've got pom-poms. And so it started out as just like a little thing of me sitting in a chair with a fake screen behind me, and now we've got all these. We turned our lobby into Lynchy's man cave.
Cool. And of course, I'm looking at the football lineup for the Super Bowls beyond the Thanksgiving game.
Yep.
And it's Cohasset and Littleton, so a South Shore team. Longmeadow and Marshfield. Everett, Zavarian, that should be a powerhouse. And then you got Holliston and Wauconah, some team from out west. Dartmouth and Melrose, Abington and Northbridge. So the tile guy is here, and he's pointing to High Five Malden Catholic High School football team.
Yeah.
Was this you?
Well, my godson, Wally.
Oh, is that? Oh, so his godson, Wally, was subject of High Five?
Yeah, well, on the team.
Oh, he's on the team.
On the team, on the one we ran the other day?
Yeah, the one you... Wow.
That's wonderful.
They won on a Hail Mary.
Yes. It's a great segment. It's on my iPhone.
Wow. Yeah, this is the tile guy here, who is a regular part of the Sweeney Malone show. And we usually, as you know, Mike, give our guests a parting gift.
Yeah.
$25,000 worth of grout. So that's
all granted.
Enjoy it.
That was a great. They played 2 weeks ago. They played Cambridge. They were down 20-14.
I was there.
And and that kid Colin Sullivan threw a Hail Mary to this kid Noel Charbonnier who caught it, and then they kicked the extra point and they won. And if you haven't seen the story, the kid that caught the pass, his best friend, was shot 2 days earlier.
Oh my God!
He went to the hospital the day of the game and promised him he was I'm gonna try to get a touchdown to win the game for you.
Wow!
And then
goosebumps.
Yeah. Unfortunately, his friend passed away.
Oh my God!
2 days later.
Wow.
They lived in Charlestown. His friend's name was Ryan Morrissey. His kid's name was Ryan Charbonnier, and so. He, obviously playing with a heavy heart and a lot of sadness. So it was a great win for the team, for Malden Catholic, to come back like that. And ironically, the kid delivered on his promise, and that was our high five last week.
It's those kind of moving stories, Mike, that over the years has really made your coverage of sports in general, but in particular schoolboy sports, really moving. And,
I thank you for giving me the credit, but the story. It's always the kids, and I happen to just sort of shine a floodlight on them for a week. And there are more good kids than bad kids out there, and unfortunately, the bad kids seem to make the news, front page of the newspaper, and in the lead of the newscast at night. And I think that the good kids deserve to get a little bit of a shake.
That's cool. So tune in to Channel 5, folks.
Yeah, and how about the job that Lou Silver did down in Marshfield? 2 years ago, they always had a great program. 2 years ago, they didn't win a game. They were 0-11.
Wow.
And look at what he's done. He's turned it around, and now they're going to play Duxbury on Thanksgiving, but they're going to the Super Bowl anyway. So hats off.
Yeah, he's got a great team, and I've watched those kids.
I like the way I worked that in because I know you're down in Marshfield.
Oh, you're good, Mike. You're not just a pro. You are the consummate pro, baby. And by the way, Mike, the other thing I would add here is the fact that you grew up in this area. You played schoolboy sports in this area. Played college sports in this area. It's in your it's in your DNA. I mean, it's just you got the whole history of stuff. It's perfect.
As all my friends say, or my daughters say, Dad, I can't believe you get paid.
Yeah, right. Well, I was thinking if you do a book, that's what I was going to say should be the title. I can't believe I got paid for this. Jeez.
I think this happened on Flutie's pass too.
Was it? Yeah.
It was almost the same. It was 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, same day.
Almost the same day. Yeah. In fact, I aired it on the same day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, you were in junior high though, back when Flutie threw that pass.
Yeah, I didn't know it was. I had to go to Wikipedia to find out who Flutie was.
So I saw Bernie Carbo, the baseball channel, had the top 20 baseball games of all time, and that Game 6 of the '75 World Series was ranked #1. So they had all these guys, Dewey Evans and Carlton Fisk was on tape, and they had Johnny Bench from the the Reds. But anyway, Bernie Carbo was on there, and it brought me back to where was I on that evening? And of course, I was with you, Mike.
Right next to each other. Remember, I had tickets to the game, but we were playing Dartmouth. This was a Wednesday night. We were playing Dartmouth on Saturday, so we had meetings at night. Remember, after practice?
Sure, absolutely.
So we had meetings get out about 8:30 or so, and so we went over to this little water lemonade stand where we used to hang out.
Yeah.
And Joe and I were sitting together, and I don't know. Everyone always says, "Oh, so and so's going to do this," and I said, next inning, Bernie Carbo comes up as a pinch hitter. I said, you can dump a beer right over my head. So. That happened.
By the way, and there were 20 people in the room.
There was only like one beer dumped in. Then I, of course, got really cocky and stood up. I said, if anybody for the Red Sox hits a home run in extra innings to win it, everybody in the joint can throw a beer on my head. And sure enough, as soon as Fish did it, so we said, all right, let's not ruin the rug in this place. So I went outside. Remember, I stood by the stairway, and everyone was on the stairs, and I went home and took a shower with my clothes on.
that was very prudent of you. Let's go outside. We don't want to ruin the rug. And
well, I didn't want our dues to go up. We probably have to pay for a cleaner. We don't have to pitch in. So I was thinking proactively.
And with that crew, I was surprised that anybody wanted to waste the beer. You know what I mean? But it was a moment they couldn't pass up. So it was like a dunking pool.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so now you get to if the Pats get to the Super Bowl, you go to Arizona.
Yep, we go to Arizona.
Wow.
We usually leave the Sunday before the game that's when the team arrives. So we try to leave early in the morning and get there before they arrive, and then the week goes by fast. It's a quiet week until about Thursday when wherever you are, and New Orleans, Arizona, Indianapolis, and then by Thursday night, people start coming in, and by Friday night, it's like New Year's Eve for 3 straight days.
Wow! And then you hopefully then warm up the duck boat. Yeah. But can you imagine the run? I mean, I'm not the first to point it out by any means, but it's just been amazing, unbelievable.
The kids that are like teenagers now, that are like 16, 17, 18 years old, they're like if there isn't a championship from one of the 4 teams every year, it's like a major disappointment.
Right. It's like a rotation. You stop and think, geez, how many cities out there have not had a championship for decades?
Yeah.
It's
think about, how long we waited for the Red Sox, how long we waited for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And how long,
the Celts were the saving grace when we were growing up.
Yeah, Celts were, they never went 5 years without it. If they went 3 or 4 years without winning a championship, it was odd.
And I was thinking, how unique was it that during those Celtics championship years, that Johnny Most was the broadcaster?
Unbelievable.
You'll never see anything like him again, right?
Unbelievable. more people turned down the TV and put him on. It's pure entertainment.
Oh, my God. Over the top. I mean, anybody did that now, it would be like, geez, check this guy into McLean's hospital or something, right?
And he had like 3 or 4 levels. He'd go, all right, how much X steals the ball? I don't know. He goes, I don't know what happens on the ball. And he kept going, his octaves, he kept going. He can't possibly go any higher.
And God forbid if there was a hard foul. Forget it. The description of it would be like, geez, he's dead. He just got knocked out cold. And then while you're watching it on TV, it was okay. He chopped him across the arms pretty good. And he had a nickname for every opponent. Funny.
Every villain had a nickname.
Yeah.
McFilthy, McNasty, and everybody gets clobbered and annihilated.
That's
and then
right.
when more and more games became televised, most of the time in the 60s, very few games were on television.
Yeah.
And so you'd have to take his word for it.
Right.
Look at it and say, annihilated? It's just, he get bumped.
Yeah, right. And by the way, too, again, going back to the villains, Will Chamberlain, some of the great players of all time, he would turn them not into a guy, hey, he's worthy of respect. It was, and as a kid, you'd think, I hate that guy, because Johnny told me he's worthy of hate, Oh, it's funny. So we got to write this book, Mike. Come on, you got to do it.
I'm thinking about it.
All right, yeah. It would be great for the sports fans of Boston, and I'm sure the general manager over at Channel 5 would see it for what it is, which is, kind of putting together all the great stories you've covered.
Yeah. Well, we got a title now, I guess. I can't believe I get paid for this.
Right, exactly. It's catchy, right? Well, if you need to shorten it up, they paid me for this. You know?
We had the late Cliff Keene, who had the great writer for the Globe and was on the Cliff and Claff show.
Yeah.
He was gonna. He never wrote a book, but he had a title, and the title was "The Bases Were Loaded, and So Was I."
That's funny, huh? Great. Wow. So Mike, you started in what year at 5?
82.
82. So what was the sort of you were a number 2 guy there at the time? Or?
I was when I started, I was sort of the fill-in guy, and then I was the weekend guy till 80. Weekend anchor and reporter during the week till 85, and then in September of 85, I started the same position I'm doing now.
Wow, imagine that. Jeez, you've seen it all.
Hey, how many 12-year-old kids get to be an anchor in 1985? So.
Right, exactly. Very good. Right, you started young. We can't believe the station would give a 12-year-old that kind of. In fact, my guess was it was more like 9 or 10. You know, it's. Well, we wish you and the whole Lynch family a spectacular Thanksgiving. And
the Malones. We'll have a camera down at the Marshfield Duxbury game, so look for those highlights coming up on Thursday on our newscast and our 7:30 show.
To all of our listeners down here, I know they're grateful for that kind of coverage, and dress warmly. Don't know what the weather's going to be like, but hopefully it won't be conditions similar to those in Buffalo.
No, they won't. And whatever it is, I'm sure all the weather people in town will scare the pants off everybody.
And by the way, I'm a big fan of She's in the Morning. You're in the non-more Cindy. Yeah. She is such a star. When you see her in the hallways of Channel 5, tell her I love her in blue.
You love her in blue?
Yeah, in royal blue. Yeah.
We used to work at Fox with her, didn't we?
That's right, exactly. Yeah, she's the girl next door. You know, she's and so many people actually in the whole TV world, Mike, and you're at the top of that list. But good folks who work hard and bring us the news. So thanks for that, my man.
All right, my big decision now is what I'm going to have for dinner, so I don't work that hard, Joe. I mean,
well, you know, Sweeney told me for Thanksgiving he's having a turkey sub with mayo and lettuce. So you may want to go with the turkey sub.
I'm thinking about it right now.
All right, good. No, I'm sure that Mary Ellen's got a beautiful gourmet dinner prepared for her man.
She could care less about the dinner. She's just counting down till Black Friday.
And by the way, I saw Angelina Jolie said that her goal is to become a better cook. So tell Mary Ellen that given that she's in the same category of beauty, that maybe that's a trend she may want to follow. Anyway, Mike Lynch, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a million, Mike. Love you for being here.
All right, bye
Have a great holiday.
Bye to all my good friends in the South Shore.
Thanks, buddy. Mike Lynch, Channel 5, Emmy Award winner, and an all-around good man. And we'll be right back. 95.9, Sweeney Malone. We got a whole lot more to go, including Lauren Payne, the director from Friendship Home, who's going to tell us what's going on there. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sweeney and Malone, and the hits keep continuing. Mike Lynch, who is, as I said, just a gem of a guy and terrific, just left the show here as a guest, and Lauren Payne said, now I got to follow Mike Lynch. This guy's a seasoned pro, but you know what? You're a pro, Lauren, and thank goodness Friendship Home has you, because the success story of Friendship Home is one that I want people to hear, and also I want you to let them know how they can be helpful in supporting this great cause. But if you would, tell our listeners what Friendship Home does, what the mission is, and give us a little bit of a sort of a timeline of when it began and where it is now, and what the success has been along the way, and how families and people have been helped as a result.
Certainly. I have a couple hours.
Yeah, go to it.
And first, a shout out to Joe Malone, who is a best friend of Friendship Home, and you've definitely made our mission yours. So I really, really appreciate that, and we can attribute our success to people like you. Friendship Home is our mission is to serve people with developmental disabilities and their families by providing respite and support services in the community. But our story is a success story that really the whole community can take credit for. So Friendship Home was founded in 1999 by two moms of adults with developmental disabilities who had been traveling around the state and advocating for their own children and other families, and were quite exhausted at the time. And so that's when they saw a respite home in Hopkinton and said, well, if they can do it, we can too. And they were also concerned that their children, when they turned 22, everything changed for them. They left their very structured school programs, and their peer group changed, and perhaps their living arrangements changed, and they were just really concerned that they didn't have opportunities to connect and be friends and have friends. So they set out to build Friendship Home. They engaged an outstanding board of directors, and they did what all successful people do, right? They surrounded themselves with really smart, excellent people who had the same values and mission as they did. And they told a friend, and they told a friend, and the friends all got together, and ultimately, our circle of friends raised $3.5 million to build a beautiful respite home that's in 123 in Norwell, and now we serve 10 guests at any given time, while their families take some time to nurture themselves and get some much-needed rest. And the individuals that stay with us get to experience some independence. So they make plans with friends. They're out in the community all weekend, or during the week. Sometimes we open for weeks at a time, but we're open every weekend with 10 guests. So it's 2 5-bedroom units, beautiful homes. And usually when their families come in, they ask when they can stay at our facility, because it's really just a wonderful place. But and from there, we started to hear that people wanted to be more engaged in their communities. They wanted to work. They wanted to give back. So we started our Bridges to Work program in 2010, and we've got 55 people in that program, 40 of whom have their own jobs in the community, with probably 30, somewhere over 30 employers. So all kinds of different businesses who offer opportunities for office work and restaurant work and
convenience stores.
Convenience stores. Tedeschi Food Shops is a great friend, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful thing. So,
as you know, recently Gordon Pulsifer and his wife Ann Ellen, who American Resources is the name of it.
First Resource Companies, yes.
Yeah, and so they hired one of the members, and I walked into the office the other day at a meeting with Gordon, and I see the two of them are outside of an office, and they're laughing, and they're having just such a beautiful conversation with someone. Now, I can't see who they're talking to, but I'm thinking, could this be Lauren? And so sure enough, as I get closer to that office, she's telling them about her trip to the Special Olympics.
Sure,
and
she got medals. Absolutely.
She had won.
Yeah.
But both Ann Ellen and both Pulsifers have just said their life in the office has changed. Gordon tells stories about how when she's away for 3 or 4 days, all the staff is, "Where's Lauren? When's she coming back in?" I've heard a similar story with a fellow who works at the Atlantica restaurant, where you're preparing for a wedding and the tension that goes on in the kitchen, so that everything is just perfect. And in walks one of your members, Billy Sullivan, and everybody kind of just takes on a different feeling, like, hey, this is what life is all about. So
it's wonderful. So our employers will tell us consistently that it changes the quality of the environment in their workplaces. But I just had a conversation with Gordon the other day, and they were actually quite surprised that Lauren has tremendous skills. So she does some data entry. She does filing. She's an office assistant, and she does everything that you would expect an office assistant to do. So the quality of her work is great, and it's the same with Billy and all of our other employees, that they really produce. So in addition to being delightful to have around. I'm very fortunate. When I come into my building, by the time I get to my office, I've been complimented a half a dozen times, and it's a wonderful day. I have a gentleman that greets me every day and says, "I have good news." So there's always something that's positive and wonderful.
I've felt that positive vibe, having been to Friendship Home, and you do the cafe on Wednesdays where lots of people come in and have lunch that's prepared by the members, and it's just an amazing feeling that you can't leave that building and not be in an uplifted mood. It's just tremendous. But now I want to get to where people can go if they want to donate and help the cause.
Well, this is a really exciting week. So one of the things that we started to do last year and we'll do again this year, so for people, I heard you talking about Black Friday. So so the shoppers are out on Friday, and Monday is Cyber Monday. So people who order online, do that on Monday. So Tuesday is Giving Tuesday, and so for nonprofits and people who want to give back, it's a day that we ask people to go to our website. There's a Giving Tuesday button, and you can contribute to our overnight respite program. It is, and I mentioned what that is, but for families caring for individuals with disabilities 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, the number one thing that they say they need, and this is statewide, survey statewide, is respite. That's what they want. And Friendship Home provides a safe, wonderful experience for their loved ones, and they get some much-needed respite. So go to our website, friendshiphome.net, and Giving Tuesday, there's a little Giving Tuesday link, and we would really love you to help us with that. We have a $25,000 match from the John Calipari Foundation. So
which doubles your money
excited.
then, right?
Yes. So, and one of the things, we look at this, my husband and I look at this in our own family, is that, what are you going to buy somebody that you've been shopping for 30, and people don't really need anything, but making a gift in somebody's name for respite for a family that really needs it is just a wonderful way to honor somebody, and I think it can be a really meaningful gift. So I ask people to think about that.
Yeah, and Coach Calipari was up this summer and became aware of Friendship Home, and sure enough, the next thing you know, his foundation made that commitment that he'll match up to $25,000, and hopefully it'll be an annual thing.
That's right.
Because the Friendship Home circle just continues to get wider and wider, bigger and bigger. We have the annual gala at Lombardo,
coming up on March 5th.
It's just amazing, the outpouring of people.
Reserve your seat now.
Yeah,
we sell out before the invitations go.
I know.
Yeah, it's because we have a great MC.
Oh,
that's what it is.
Now, Tile Guy, you know who the MC is, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. You've just made my Thanksgiving. That little plug goes a long way.
I'm grateful for Joe Malone.
But it's a one-year contract, so I wait each year. Will I get the call from Lauren?
Oh, here's your invitation live on the air, Joe.
Yeah, is that right? Okay, all right. So this is recorded. You can't back out. You can't renege. Yeah, that's right. Tile Guy provided a lot of the tile.
Absolutely.
Which was very generous.
Thank you.
Very generous. And for that, we're going to give you the plug. What's the name of the Tile Show House?
Tile Show House.
Route 53. Go down there and check it out. Yeah.
We have beautiful tile, and we're so grateful.
You're welcome.
Yeah, many of the local merchants helped us out. So George Washington Toma gave us all our appliances. Wow. So when you need a new refrigerator, please visit. When you need tile, you have to go to the Tile Guy.
And then there's auction items, right,
Absolutely.
for the gala that people can provide. Give the website one more time, if you will.
Friendshiphome.net.
Fair enough. Nice and easy. Now, from your standpoint, I've watched you. You got to juggle all these different things. It's everything from the administrative hat. It's making sure that all of the kind of state guidelines are followed and so forth. How do you find enough hours in the day? And still look as good as you look on it, all right?
Right?
No, hey,
I always wish there was another week in my week. But,
I'll bet.
We all do.
But it's great.
you talked about feeling good, coming to Friendship Home, and just feeling that positive energy. And I think that keeps me going. It gets our supporters involved and engaged. It's just really a great place to be. We have a cafe every Wednesday, and folks can call ahead and make reservations to join us for cafe. But we have a gentleman, you know, Dave Norris. Hi, Dave, if you're out there.
The great Dave
A wonderful
Norris.
guy. He's been a wonderful supporter. But last Wednesday we had cafe, and I wasn't expecting Dave, but there he was. It was a nice surprise, and I thanked him for coming, and he said, you know, I had a really tough morning, really negative. I had to deal with some problems, and I said, you know, I'm heading out. I'm working the rest of the day at home. And he was driving down Route 123 and said, oh, it's Wednesday, and there's Friendship Home. I'm going for lunch. And he couldn't say enough about the fact that it changed his day. And that's what it does for people.
Words cannot express it. You have to experience it. Max Lane, the former Patriots offensive tackle, I'm told was there last week.
What a wonderful guy. Well, we're grateful. We're the distribution site for cell phones for soldiers. So the kids that started that program, Robbie and Brittany Bergquist, Robbie got an award from the Myra Kraft Foundation for cell phones for soldiers. And so they did the award presentation at Friendship Home, and Max Lane came, and he's giant.
Yeah,
He's giant.
Big man.
He's giant. He's got a really big, I guess it was a runner-up Super Bowl ring, and it's beautiful and huge, and heavy. So we were all sort of admiring that. But anyway, he came just to do this check presentation, and he ended up working with the guys to do cell phones for soldiers. He stayed for cafe, and he's coming to our theme party on December 13th.
How great is that?
So he just really made a nice connection, and I started to give him a tour of the kitchen, and he basically told me to get lost. He was going to go to work with the guys. So we didn't have big enough rubber gloves for him. That was hard, but he went right to work in the kitchen with our guys. So it was terrific. He's a great guy.
So to all of you listeners out there, it is a case of people in the community just integrating into Friendship Home, and before you know it, you feel wonderful, and you make a lot of friends, and it's, you know, to use the overused cliche, it's all good. There is nothing but goodness that comes from it.
Do yourself a favor. Come visit. Get involved.
And
really
again,
amazing.
you can go through the website, or I think there's a phone number there where you have a lot of young people volunteer as well, right?
We do in our club programs. We have recreational club programs running every day. So we had a fitness club going when I was leaving the office today. I saw some yoga mats and a healthy dinner, and 12 or 15 people hanging out together and doing yoga.
And you have one of the DJs from right here at WATD,
DJ
right?
Wolfson.
Yeah,
DJ Wolfson does our
Wolfson.
theme parties. Absolutely.
Who was one of the great characters.
He is.
Right?
He's living the dream.
He's
That's
living
what
the
he
dream.
told me.
That's
He's living the
his
dream.
mantra.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
living
right.
the dream.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate it, and again, just whatever you can send. If it's $5, if it's $500, or anything in between, support Friendship Home. I truly believe that it is a national model that hopefully someday will be emulated throughout this country. But what exists here is special, and it's a real tribute to people who are filled with love, who made it a reality. So hats off to Friendship Home.
Hats off to our friends. Thanks, Joe.
Well, pleasure, Lauren. And come back soon, hopefully before the March Gala.
Sure.
And tell us what's going on then, and maybe we can drum up some auction items and so forth.
Absolutely.
All right, great. And we will wish you right now a very happy Thanksgiving. You staying local?
I am. I'm cooking.
Okay, great.
I wish you were cooking for me, but I'm cooking.
Thank you.
I'm
Actually,
cooking.
we had a little dinner party the other night. That was a fun party.
It was
wasn't
fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much.
Joe's very
Fishing for
generous and
compliments.
shared his birthday.
Well,
so.
it was actually we had auctioned off
That's right.
at the golf tournament that Friendship Home has in September. It was an auction item, and a gentleman paid some significant money to have a 7-course meal, which George Montilio, the baker, brought in the 7th course, which is amazing cake that he created. If you have a daughter or a son or everybody else, Ryan, if you get married in the near future, Montilio's Bakery is where you want to get the cake.
Amazing.
Right?
It was amazing.
geez.
And dinner was fantastic.
Well, thank
Do
you
your
very
listeners know you're an outstanding chef?
You know what? Do you know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's in most circles, people know I'm pretty good around the kitchen. But
Cafe Malone is amazing. My only suggestion, I feel like the hours that it's open are a little unpredictable.
Yeah,
so a little bit more consistency.
It's an underground restaurant. We don't have all the licenses and all the permits, so we don't have an entertainment license either. So by the way, the great Jim Sylvia was there performing.
He's wonderful. He was terrific.
A really good man.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time, and I hope you enjoyed your birthday.
Thank you very much. I did, and you only turned 40 once, so why not make the most of it? So
that's true.
Hey, my man Ryan, let's take a little break here, and then we'll be back for the stretch run. Again, go to Friendship Homes website, Google it, make its contribution. You'll be glad you did. For 95.9, Sweeney and Malone, the fun is yet to come. As we wind down the show, again, I hope everybody takes a moment, as I know they will, and says, geez, you know what? You can get distracted by the, relatively speaking, little things in life, that can maybe cause you a little bit of concern or distress, but take this time to recognize that life is good. We live in a great country, and that every minute is precious, so why not have a positive attitude and just fly right through those moments when you get a little bit down or discouraged. And I've been blessed. I have a wonderful wife and 4 nice kids, and so that's what my blessing will be this Thursday as I contemplate what's good in life, And how about you, Tile Guy? I know you lost your mom.
Yeah, my mom Easter Sunday.
Never easy to go through.
First holiday without my mom. It's going to be weird, but I'll be with family.
That's great.
It'll be nice.
That's great. And Ryan is going to be working. We already established that. Larry will be in Hollywood. Larry's working. Larry's working. And the crew from the Raynham, they'll probably be in some 5-star hotel or something, living the big life. But and we welcome you to the show tonight, and hopefully it'll be many happy returns. This is great. The Sweeney Malone radio show is now gone radio TV, and
that's great.
When Steve comes back, believe me, he's going to have his head in the camera and everything else. It will be. I hope your viewers are up for this, but he's a lot of fun. And then the other thing that's great about this time is, as people have pointed out, is it's not the stress of I got to go down my gift list and make sure that this gets taken care of and decorations and everything else. I mean, I love Christmas, but there is something about the relaxed nature of Thanksgiving. Have a nice meal, be with friends and family, kick back and watch a football game. Yeah, we can't overlook that. So once I make my flight to Logan and head to Brooklyn, then I think I'll be okay. But and you're as bullish, Tile Guy, on the Patriots as everybody else is, right? How can't you be? Right?
I feel the bowl this year, definitely.
I'm going to ask Margot. You bullish on the Patriots? You just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, we get the thumbs up from Margot. So they'll beat Green Bay.
They'll beat Green Bay.
Wow,
definitely.
Okay, and that's a tough road game.
Tough road game, but they have a great defense.
If they beat Green Bay, then wow, that is maybe one of the best streaks they've been on during the whole Belichick era, because they've beaten against some fabulous teams. So
it didn't start out that way, but wow. They're playing on all 12 cylinders. They're playing great.
Really, and it goes back to between the coach and the quarterback. They've got something that almost no other team in the league has, and they've had their few moments where it's like, oh, okay, too bad they didn't win that game. Too bad they didn't get to the Super Bowl. But when you think of the dominant
every year
situation,
we're in the playoffs. Right. Every year.
And what's that? 6 Super Bowls that they've gone to 5. So and they won 3 and lost 2. Right. This is where we need your buddy Bob, Patriots Nation.
Total Patriots.
There you go. And then
I feel this year they're going to win the ball. I do.
And my other hope is, and I haven't got the tickets yet, but I'm hoping to go see Bob Seger. He's playing at the Garden on Saturday night.
Nice.
And the Jay Giles Band, Boston's own Jay Giles Band, that doesn't play that much anymore with Peter Wolf. They're opening up for him, so it's a great show. So I've got got all my feelers out to see if I can get 4 tickets for that, and I think I'm in good shape. And you don't know how many shows a guy like Bob Seger will be doing between now and when he decides to call it quits. But I saw him, it was probably about 5 years ago now, and put on a spectacular show. He has a new CD out, and everybody says the music is great, so we'll play some of that stuff. And then my other big thing over the weekend is just to make sure that now that I'm in a new decade of my life here, that I get enough exercise to work off the. I'm not giving out any numbers. I'll only say I'm younger than 61 and I'm older than 59. You know, so I'll let you figure it out.
I'm right behind you.
But anyway, I like what Oprah says. It's the new 40 or whatever. That's right. You know, and so anyway. So I'm going to try to make sure I get enough exercise in so that I can work off the turkey.
Same gym.
That's right. And you know, so if I can do all that stuff, that's fine with me. That works. We got Johnny Shea coming up with Almost Famous. So and you're going to cover that too. You know, wow, good. So you know, what more could we ask for here? You know, we got next Tuesday coming up, which will then launch us into, geez, I can't believe it, right? Christmas season.
4 years here, right?
Yeah, 4 years here, yeah. But I'm thinking more Christmas season here already. And when you hear now that the stores are going to be open on Thursday, many of the stores, oh my God. I don't get that. You know what? I guess they entice people to go out with sales, but you know, who in their right mind on Thanksgiving would say, all right, turkey was great, I'm going down to the mall. You know, it's just it doesn't do it for me. You know, again, you got almost a whole month. What's the rush?
Right.
But I think there are some people who just kind of that kind of turns them on. That kind of excites them. So I remember being down in Washington one time, and there was this long line that wound around the museum, and I said to the cab driver, I said, well, wow, what's the attraction there? He said, oh, the such and such exhibit opened up today. I said, so is it just one day? Oh no, it's going to be here for a whole year. So you know, why do you have to be the first? You know, the art's not going to look different, but I guess you know it's sort of a mentality, be the first on the block. So who knows? But anyway, I am loving the fact that I'm going to get to go watch my son play football on Thursday morning, and I'm looking at the teams that are in the Super Bowl.
Melrose is there.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Holliston, right? So Holliston and Situate in the playoffs.
Nice.
It came down. In other words, when there was a first round, and it came down to like the last play of the game that Situate lost to Holliston. Now Holliston advanced to the Super Bowl, and Situate didn't quite get there, but it's the old story. Life is a game of inches, but kids who play football deserve a lot of credit, and to all of them out there, congratulations for committing yourself to such an arduous task, and to be out there in the cold and be out there, you know, just working your tails off. That's all good stuff. And hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday, or you'll hear from us next Tuesday. And call on your local cable station and say, hey, get Sweeney and Malone on the cable station, right? Let's spread the joy. Brian, thanks a lot. To the rest of the crew here, have a great Thanksgiving. 95.9 Sweeney and Malone next week. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.